Welcome to Tea with me. I am Jennifer. Many know me as Jen. I'm also known as Missy. I don't know why. And most recently, thanks to a small convention, I became known as the Tea Lady. It's not like I went around serving tea to everyone at Hoolanta, but anyways, I have been bombarded with questions on how I prefer my tea and how others should drink their tea. To each his own, or her own, or its own. Could be android, neither, multiform, Anyone may have a preference for their teas. Now, I've only tried maybe 2 teas that I really weren't that fond of. One might say they weren't my cup of tea. Yes, there's the bad joke for the day. But today I'm going to demonstrate with one that, surprise, surprise, is an Adagio blend. Yes, it's the Fandom blends from Adagio that my beautiful friend Rachel created. See, it's Welcome to Heaven. It's almond, cream, marsala chai, cardamom, and cinnamon. Generally, when I'm drinking a chai-based or cinnamon-type tea, I prefer honey. Other teas, I tend to prefer with just milk or maybe milk and just a hint of sugar. I don't like a lot of sweetener in my tea, but some may prefer more. Now, how I first drink my teas. First, I take 1 cup. I've had this steeping for 4-ish minutes. Now, to each their own. They may want to let it steep longer. I'm not going to be the tea police. It just makes it a little bit more stout, I guess. But the first thing I do is take a sip as it is, plain. And it is gorgeous. It is a beautiful blend of chai with cinnamon, and it has a creamy undertone with an almond aftertaste. I quite enjoy it. Now I'm going to set this off to the side so it can chill, because some teas are good cold. I know! Isn't that a shocker? But here in the South, everything is cold. We have all of our teas cold, but I, on the other hand, enjoy them hot, cold. Depends on the blend. The next thing I do is take a bit, pour it in the cup. I'm not doing a whole lot of tea here because, well, I want to find out how I prefer this tea before I go and fill the cup. And then the next step is just a drop of cream. And then, and I know some people will go on about cream first. Well, when you're trying to figure out whether you want cream in there or not, you go with how you want. That is really good too. Seriously, if you want a good blend, you go to Adagio and you look up Rachel's blends, because she's phenomenal at creating blends. With this one, the milk tones down the chai, which, depending on my mood, I might prefer. It brings out the cream and makes the almond taste a little bit more predominant. And yeah, it definitely makes the almond more noticeable. Now you want to run it over your whole palate. Think of it like you're trying a whiskey or a wine. You want to taste all of it. You want to savor it, not just gulp it. You want to enjoy it. The next I take another cup just on its own, and then I add just a bit of sugar. Now, I prefer raw sugar, and I don't like a lot. I put just a little bit. To me, raw sugar has a better taste to it. It doesn't have the molasses pulled out of it. It's less processed. For me, I use less if I use raw sugar. And with this, the chai has a bit of a bite to it. I think it's the cinnamon that really comes out to the forefront with the sugar. And the cream isn't as strong, but the almond is very much more pulled to the forefront with the sugar. It does have a bit of a bite. And sometimes I like that. Okay, and next we take a bit and we're going to try honey. Now, I put just a little bit of honey in this cup because our honey jar is quite big. It's hard to get just a small amount. And this cup, my daughter painted for me. Isn't that adorable? Just a little bit of honey. I don't like I said, I don't like a lot. Now with the honey, the chai is brought to the forefront. You taste more of the cinnamon, more of the chai. It has a greater dominance. You get less of the almond that way. There's not as much of the cream to it, but it's still good. Next, we take the one with the sugar and we add just a bit of milk. And I'll go ahead and add a bit of milk to the one that has the honey. Stir those. Oh, that is beautiful. This is the one with the sugar and milk. This one, I think, is my favorite because it draws out the cinnamon with the sugar, but the milk brings out the creamy almond to the forefront. So the chai to me is more of not quite an aftertaste, is not so much the forefront. I love a creamy almond with that little hint of chai and cinnamon. That is gorgeous. Now we go to try the one with honey and milk. This one is also good. This one brings the chai and cinnamon more to the forefront, but still has a creamy almond taste to it. Oh, I love the almond in that. And with the chai being more pronounced in that, it's a more equal blend. And it depends on what you prefer. If you prefer a more mild, creamy taste, or the almond flavor, or if you really want a strong chai, you pick what you prefer. Now, by now, I'm sure this one has chilled. It's even good cold. I might even add a bit of sugar and place this in the refrigerator for a while because that is still delicious. So on these hot summer days when everything is stifling, because we're in Tennessee, y'all, it gets hot. We want a nice cold drink. This would be good iced. It really is good. So anytime you want a certain blend of tea, but you're not sure how you would like to try it, don't be afraid to dirty some cups because we have lots of teacups. I even have one of my favorites. Yes, it can be a little bit of a mess, but it's worth it. You want to find out how you prefer your tea. And if you want, I will continue making reviews. I already write them for Adagio, but I also drink teas that are non-Adagio. Oh, I am not picky when it comes to most brands. I go with what I like. I find something that tastes good. And there's a few of us that tend to trade teas. We go to each other's houses and go, ooh, here, have some of this tea, and I'll take some of that tea, and it almost feels like a drug deal. But we are dealing in tea, always willing to share. And one thing you must remember, that the best cup of tea is shared with friends. So anytime you are in my area, you're welcome to join me for a cup of tea.